Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of Quality Assurance in 5 Minutes video series. My name is Chamal Asela Pereira and today I'm going to talk about different types of software testing. Now before we start the second video, let's just quickly go through what we have learned in the first episode. In the first episode, we talked about how quality assurance is different to software testing. And we talked about that testing is not equal to software quality assurance, but it's a subset of quality assurance. Also, we talked about how software testers perform various types of software testing in the testing phase. Now, today, we're going to dig more into that phase. Let's look at what are the different types of software tests performed by software testers or quality assurance engineers. Now, there are many ways that we can categorize software testing. One way is we can categorize them as functional testing. Other ways we can categorize them according to the non-functional testing way. In the functional testing, software testers use functional requirements such as specification or the user requirements to test and make sure the software test system is working as expected. In the non-functional testing, they consider non-functional attributes such as performance or security. Now, let's look at few of the functional testing types. Now, here you will see different jargons or different terms that we use in software quality assurance. Now, it's really important to learn and know these terms as we are going to use them in next tutorials. Let's look at the first one, the acceptance test. Now, what happens here is it verifies the system and whether it satisfies the business requirements. It is done by the software testers after the module is finished or the system is developed by the software developers. We usually, or the software testers usually do it according to the acceptance criteria, which is equals to the business requirements. The second type is smoke test. What happens here is it verifies the basic functionalities of the system. Sometimes we call smoke test the build verification test as well. There's another type of test that we perform called sanity testing. Now here what happens is to verify all the new additions could be bugs or the functionalities are working as expected. Now fourth type is the regression testing. Assume the developer developed some things and maybe enhanced something or added new features. As a testers, we need to make sure that no new bugs introduced after that code changes. And that is what we do in this regression testing. Now there are a couple of more functional testing types that I would like to discuss. The first one is unit testing. Now it is important to know that unit testing is not done by testers, it is done by software developers. What happens here is software developers make sure that smallest component in their program working as expected. It could be a function, it could be a smallest module. So developer write unit tests to make sure it happens. Second one is the integration testing. Now imagine a software system. Now it has couple of modules or couple of components. When these modules are components integrated, software testers need to make sure they are working as expected. And that is why software testers do integration testing. Third one here is the system test. Now here software testers focuses on the end-to-end test. They make sure that all the integrated modules are working as expected and system is functioning as expected by the customers or the end users. That is all I wanted to talk in the functional testing types. Now let's quickly go through the non-functional requirements, non-functional testing types. As I mentioned earlier, in the non-functional testing, the focus is more on the non-functional attributes. Here are a few examples for non-functional testing. Let's look at the first one, performance testing. In the performance testing, the purpose is to measure how well the system is performing. There are many different types of performance testing can be done by software testers. Spike testing, load testing, volume testing are few examples for that. Second one is the security testing. The intended purpose of doing security testing is to identify the threats or the attacks. Third one is the compatibility testing. How compatible the system that you have tested. In order to do that, software testers do testing on different platforms, different operating systems. Fourth one is the usability testing. How usable, how user friendliness the software that you have tested. Now, to do all these different types of non-functional testing, there are many tools available. Now, these are the not only available non-functional testing. There are many non-functional testing available in the software testing world. We can take a look at all these different types of non-functional testing in a very detailed manner in another video. To summarize all the things that we discussed today, software testing can be categorized into two main parts, functional and the non-functional testing. And we discuss few examples for functional testing and few examples for non-functional testing. And that is all I wanted to share in this 5 minutes QA basic video series. Thank you very much for watching and see you again in another video.